I'm taking the strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 145 of the SZN Podcast. I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, guys, before I kick off the episode, please head over to SZN Pod or SZN Podcast. That's our Twitter and Instagram pages. Link in the bio on both of those pages there, which will take you to where we're situated at streaming-wise. So if you like your audio, your Spotify links, Apple Podcast links are there. If you like your visuals, YouTube link is also there. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave us a good review, all of that good stuff. Flowz, another week. Hope you're good first and foremost.
Yeah, I'm good, bro. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm good, thanks. A few things to sort of get through on the agenda today. But yeah, a few talking points. But I feel like before we, because mainly previews that we're doing this week, but before we get into the previews, Flowz, I think it will be remiss not to mention a certain boxer that was in action on the weekend that just went. You know, we like mentioning her on this pod, even if it's not a fight that's big or whatever. We've always got to shout out Claressa Shields, the GOAT. Yeah. She was in action over the weekend. She was defending her undisputed female middleweight titles against Maricela Cornejo. Cornejo, yeah. This was this was in Detroit as well. She was fighting in Detroit, which is kind of I guess she's from Flint, but yeah, Detroit is the main part of that area. But yeah, man, it was typical shutout win. She won every single round, battered her opponent. Was probably a bit pissed off that she couldn't get her out of there. I think she wanted to get her out there, obviously in front of the raucous Detroit crowd. But to be fair with Claressa, as we know, she's not really a power puncher. She doesn't really get her opponents out there, to be fair. But one thing she will do, Flowz, is outbox you from the first bell to the last bell. And that's exactly what she did with this chick. So yeah. Shout out to Claressa. We like Claressa, so yeah.
Claressa doing Claressa's things. The GOAT.
Yeah, the GOAT for real. And she's still on, you know what type of energy she's on all the time. Always on vaults. Yeah, she's still going at everyone who comes at her sideways in her eyes, anyways, which is very funny to see. And Flowz, I think you mentioned it before as well, how the Savannah Marshall beef hasn't died. It's not dying anytime soon. They're still going at each other, even though Claressa took that by UD. We're probably going to see them run it back at some point. I think. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I see they're still getting back and forth every now and then. Savannah Marshall called her out, saying that she needs me because questions Claressa's drawing power. I don't think it was a sold-out stadium in Detroit. So yeah, that might be down to her lack of KO power, to be honest.
I think it is.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd like to see them run it back.
If you notice well, Flowz, when someone's a boxer who is a supreme boxer and really schools their opponents but doesn't really stop their opponents, that drawability is a bit funky sometimes. But yeah, they'll definitely run it back, I'm sure. And it'll do good numbers again. But yeah, let's segue over to the upcoming previews, Flowz, because there's one specific one that I think we're going to delve into proper, and a couple ones that we got to mention as well. Do you want to tackle the big fish first, or should we just briefly mention the other little fights that are going on before we get to the big fish?
Let's go straight to the big one.
Okay. Josh Taylor, Teofimo Lopez. Yeah, man, it's here. It's snuck around, don't you think, Flowz? I feel like it's snuck around and it's here now. And despite it being a big fight, I feel like, Flowz, do you feel that people are talking about it?
I feel like it's got certain tongues wagging because it's an intriguing fight, but it's what we said before. Taylor's not a huge name. I think within boxing crowds he's known, but in terms of the casual audience, I don't think this is a big fight to them anyway. Yeah.
Flowz, this fight is interesting to me, yeah. Shall I tell you why? Because of the fact that we've got two guys here that were at the top of the world. Josh Taylor had unified the 140 division in amazing fashion and was on the pound per pound list and whatnot, and considered one of the best boxers in the world, etc. Teofimo dethroned Lomachenko, which is a feat in itself, and was also at the top of the pile at that 135 division. And then so two guys who have reached the pinnacle amazingly, and we've kind of seen them have a fall from grace. Teofimo lost to George Kambosos, and since that loss, Flowz, he's not looked the same. We know that he's not looked the same. He's looked a mess. I'll be so real. And then Josh Taylor had that contentious win against Jack Catterall, which again was a robbery. That was robbery, listeners. That, there's other stuff we've been saying robbery. That was a serious robbery, and a lot of question marks. Obviously, he had to, relinquish 3 of the belts that he had, so he's only got 1 left now. So yeah, man, this is. It's two guys who are trying to get that lick back, Flowz, trying to get that bounce back. That's why I feel that this is a big, crucial fight and very interesting at the same time, because how are we going to look?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. You had Teofimo saying to the camera, "Do I still got it?" After a stinker against Sandro Martin. I guess with both of them not looking so good last time, it makes for an interesting fight, because, like you say, both top of the world. Now we're questioning whether these two are really elite at this point. It's a fact. We have to question it.
Yeah.
Because, we both said Catterall, no way in hell is he beating Josh Taylor, and killed Taylor. And it was robbery of the year.
Robbery of the year, for real. Yeah.
So, it's even hard to drop a prediction when these two are off the back of stinking performances.
What is it that you say, Flowz, all the time? You're judging fighters off their last performance.
Yeah, that's what makes it.
Yeah, that's deep, because Teofimo, wow, that Sandro Martin performance was peak. So back-to-back stinkers, because that Sandro Martin was the first fight since Kambosos lost, no?
Mm-hmm.
And then, to be fair, we haven't seen Taylor in action. He had that sting against Catterall and got gifted this decision. And obviously, they were meant to have the rematch. I still feel so harsh with Jack Catterall, by the way, because I swear Buddy's fighting for no belts now. His next fight isn't for any belts, which is mad. They've fragmented all the belts in that division, and he's not even getting a piece of the pie, which is so nasty. But
he was fought last week. I think, was it last week? Yeah, it was on the undercard for whatever card.
I know he had a dud opponent lined up, like a food opponent.
He spoke to him. I watched it. But it was a nothing fight really.
But the point is, Flowz, he should be world champion, or he should at least be fighting for a piece of the pie. And he's been shafted so badly, because obviously Josh Taylor and Catterall, they had the rematch lined up, but then Josh Taylor got injured. And due to the inactivity, due to the injury, he had to relinquish basically all the belts anyways. And he was able to hold on to one of them. But Catterall was now out of the picture. He's out of the world title picture, which is crazy to me. But this is Josh Taylor's first fight in ages, so it'll be interesting to see what he looks like. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of ring rust. Teofimo's been a bit more active, but again, didn't look good. So this one's up in the air, Flowz. That being said, a prediction has to be made, and I'll be so real with you, Flowz. I'm liking Josh Taylor on this one. Off what Teofimo showed me those last two, bro. Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like Josh Taylor should be motivated. I think they should both be motivated. But Josh Taylor is a very proud, he's got a bit of an ego. As in he deserves, he rates himself. Yeah. And I feel like he wants to shut up all the people who are saying, "Oh yeah, you got gifted the decision against Jack Catterall, you're not that good, blah blah." I feel like he's going to come in there with a huge chip on his shoulder and a point to prove, and he'll be serious. I feel like Catterall we took lightly, I don't think he will take this one lightly because a lot of people are talking smack on his name. And Teofimo, boy, I mean, Campos didn't take seriously, got dropped, lost his belts, moved up. I don't know if he took Sandor Martin seriously, but he looked horrible. I would assume he will get up for this fight in terms of he'll be motivated for this one. And as we saw, Teofimo, when he's motivated, he's brilliant. But if I'm looking from a boxing point of view, Flowz, to me, Josh Taylor was always, even though they were in different weight classes, one was at 135, 140. If I'm saying who is the better boxer, I like as a boxer better, it would have been Josh Taylor. If we were both at the peak of the powers, I think he's just got more. He's got more to his game. He's got more in his locker, I believe, from a boxing standpoint. So, yeah, that's why I sort of favor him on this one, which, if that goes how I expect it to go, Flowz, that leaves Teofimo Lopez in a very, very precarious situation. Very, very precarious situation because he's lost to Campos. He arguably lost to Sandor Martin, and losing to Josh Taylor. Boy, you're really questioning: is this guy what? Is his head in it? Does he want it enough? What next for him?
Yeah, there's a few factors in this as well, which I've got to look at. So outside of the ring rust, outside of the stinker performances that we've seen, Josh Taylor was looking to move up to 147 because he was struggling to make 140. So we've got to look at that as well because his whole plan was to move up after beating Carroll.
Yeah.
And he stayed because of the rematch, and now he's not having the rematch. So you're looking at that. And once again, you have to remember Teofimo's moving up. Josh Taylor's a big 140 pounder. He's tall. He's the same size as he could be a welterweight.
He could be a welterweight,
yeah. Like he won't look out of place at welterweight. So you have to consider that, whether he can make weight and make weight goods, and you've got to look at the size difference. Whether if he makes it good, then he'll be much bigger than Teofimo, I imagine.
Yeah.
And then Teofimo's mentally is all over the shop as well. Right. What he's been saying, like his wife's divorcing him. He's been talking about that and stuff. Mm-hmm. So he seems a mess. If we're talking predictions, I'm the same as you. I think on paper, Josh Taylor beats him.
Yeah.
Like on paper, Josh Taylor beats him. It's just how these other external factors.
The weight. And the ring rust, because it's been a long time.
So, but I think Josh Taylor's a dog. Ignoring the performance, just try putting that aside for the time being. He was the king of the division. Yeah. He was the one who was saying was the best. But for me, he can't reclaim that throne until he rights those wrongs. He has to see Carroll at some point.
He has to see him again. Yeah. I'm about to say, it makes sense.
No matter what he does, he needs to see Carroll again. So, like, it's even peak because he should be firmly fixed by power for power list. But right now, I'm looking at it and I'm questioning his legitimacy there. Because he got the decision. He won on paper, but he didn't win.
He didn't win. To me, he didn't win. I think to a lot of people, he didn't win. It was an egregious decision. Carroll was just better on the night, just better than him on the night. And again, hats off to Jack Carroll. I feel like Josh Taylor's gonna come in there with a real point to prove. If like I said, if everything goes well in terms of the weight cut and whatnot, he's gonna want to make a statement even because Teofimo is highly regarded in America, as we know, and this kind of puts him back on the map, if not, Flowz, as beating a Teofimo Lopez, who does have a bit of even though his value's kind of fallen a little bit, he's still Teofimo, right? So the guy, and Teofimo's a talker, he will sell the fight, etc. That's gonna put him back in. It's interesting because I don't actually know how long he wants to stick around for at 140, because I feel like he's almost doing this for pride now, Flowz, because of the fact that he kind of went out sad. Even though he won against Carroll, he really could have just cut. but it's pride now, I feel like. Pride's on the line for him, and he's a very, very proud Scotsman. So, I feel like he's going to come in there with a point to prove. And I hope Teofimo's ready.
Yeah.
But Flowz, if we get a focused Teofimo, this is a cracker of a fight. This is an absolute cracker of a fight because Teofimo's cold when he wants to be. It's just that recently his head's all over the gaff. So yeah, this is an absolute. If both of these men are focused, we're going to be in for a spectacle, a treat. But yeah, I do favor Josh Taylor, despite the ring rust and despite the weight. Well, we'll see how he looks on the scales. But yeah, I feel like he has the beating of Teofimo here, and we're going to have some serious conversations. Flowz, if Josh Taylor does win next week when we break it all down, we have to see in terms of where does that leave Teofimo Lopez, because yeah, he's here to compete, and this is his chance to grab a title again. So another massive win if he upsets the odds again. I don't know who's favorite. I'm assuming Josh Taylor will be favorite. I haven't actually checked the odds, but yeah, it's in New York though. It's in Brooklyn, so I think might be in Madison Square Gardens. I'm not so sure, but yeah, it is in New York. So yeah, who knows? But yeah, we're gonna have the conversations for the loser. In another lifetime, this could have been a loser retires match for us. But hey, no, we're not there yet. We're not there yet for these two. They still got better.
Yeah, they do. They have options in time.
Yeah. Just actually for the winner, whoever wins, is it unifications we want to see? The usual. See, Progress is there. There's some other guys who've come into the division now who we know that are looking for action. Yeah, actually, I know Progress got one of the belts.
He's fighting soon.
Sorry?
Progress fighting soon, isn't he?
Yeah, he's fighting. So he's making his debut on the Matchroom against Zorilla or something. I think just to keep busy opponent. I'm just looking. Yeah, it's so fractured now. Like obviously, Rolly's got the WBA. Regis has got the WBC. Some guy called Subriel Matthias has got the IBF. I don't really know. Oh, this guy's wow, he's powerful. I haven't seen this guy fight, but he's got 20 wins, 19 KOs, so he's a powerhouse. But yeah, he's got one of the belts, and obviously Josh Taylor's got the WBO, so it's fully fractured now ever since Josh snapped all them belts, which is such a shame, obviously. But yeah, I guess for the winner, I don't know if I want to see Josh Taylor unify. Obviously, it'll be great again, but he's done it already, and he's undisputed already. I feel like for me, yeah, Josh Taylor, run it back on Catterall because he deserves that rematch, and then move up, whether you win or lose, I think. If Teofimo wins, go for the other belts. Let's see if you can do undisputed the right way this time. In this way, class. That's what I want to see for the winners.
I agree. I'm not sure on Josh Taylor. I just think he needs to ride that cattle wrong. It's a shame that because also I don't really want him to move up, to be honest. But if he can't make the weight anymore, then fair enough, move up. Yeah. I'm not interested in Josh Taylor versus a Terence Crawford or Errol Spence.
It's mad because that's who he was calling out. He was calling out Crawford. He was saying because obviously he had a WO. He had obviously back when Crawford was on Top Rank. So he had his eyes firm during the whole Catterall build. He had his eyes firmly fixed on Terence Crawford, so he's gonna move up and challenge him, etc. And yeah, that ship is all over there now. Yeah, it's not. You better focus on the now.
Yeah, 2-time undisputed is a good label to have, but
it's nice.
I think I think beat Teofimo, face Catterall. Right that wrong if you can, and then you can move up, and by that time we would have some clarity on the.
We have one name, one face.
Yeah, so that division can kind of get moving again once that fight happens. So finally, I don't mind. Bro. Finally,
yeah, and for you, if Teofimo wins, you want to see him obviously up against the Rollies and the Progress.
Devin Haney looking to move up there. Haney, big names, tanks.
Ryan Garcia's there as well. Yeah, these are the names we threw him in with when he was at 135, right? So yeah. So
those are still options. Win or lose for Teofimo, actually.
Haney and Teofimo got to see each other still. There's there was stuff brewing there. There's a lot of bad blood brewing there back in the day. Obviously, we saw the whole
We got to do it on the zone.
Bill Hader, Teofimo Senior. Yeah, I can't. We need that. That one. That
Yeah.
one's needed still. The streets need that one. I can't lie.
Those classes were so funny. Haiti was pulling up on everyone. Haiti's a G.
Yeah.
With everyone.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I like the sound of that. We'll see what happens, but yeah, it's a very intriguing fight. A lot of repercussions for the winner and the loser. So we look forward to bringing you the breakdown of that one next week, Flowz, and listeners. Cool. There's other little fights that's worth mentioning that's going down next week, Flowz. I'm gonna start with Sonny Edwards, as I believe this would this be his Matchroom debut?
Yes. Yeah. It's part of the new crop they signed.
Yeah. They signed a bunch of guys in like a one go, and Sonny was one of them. He's defending his IBF World Flyweight title against an undisputed Chilean called Andres Campos. This is just I guess debut on Matchroom. He's going to look to put on a performance. He's a good fighter, Sonny. Obviously, he's not a draw. He's never going to be a draw. Those divisions, it's hard to be a draw, especially when you don't have power either. And Sonny he's a masterful boxer. He's not powerful, but that boy can box his ass off. And he's funny, actually. I do like his Twitter and whatnot. And when he's on commentary as well, he's good. Like he's a good character to have in boxing. But yeah, I'm sure I know he's quite keen on unifying that division and going after the other champions. So I'm sure he's going to be keen to put on the show for his Matchroom debut and then call out some of the other names in the division. I'm assuming I know you're a fan of Sonny as well, right, Flowz?
Yeah. He can box. You can't ever take that away from him. Brilliant in terms of back foot boxing on the outside.
Yeah.
He's very good at that. His power isn't there really in those divisions. I guess Bam Rodriguez can bang.
Yeah.
But yeah, he can debut on the zone, get your win, and then hopefully we can start seeing unifications. I think, like you say, great talker, great personality in the sport, active. Shout out to Sonny.
Yeah, and on that card as well, there's two other title fights as well, women's title fights. You've got Nina Hughes versus Katie Healy for the WBA World Bantamweight title in the women's divisions. And also Ellie Scotney as well is fighting for IBF World Super Bantamweight title up against Shanika Johnson. So those women's fights will be worth watching. We know what women's title fights are like. They're barnstormers. So Ellie Scotney, someone we've mentioned quite a few times on this pod, Flowz. She was going to be on the undercard for was she meant to be on the undercard for the
Taylor
Cameron. Yeah, and obviously there was the bad blood there. But she's got a title fight here, and looking to her to get that one. Another fight that's worth mentioning, Flowz, as well, just briefly as well. Your guy, Big D, David Adeleye, is in action. He's up against a guy called Ahmatovic. I think this guy is from, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's Serbian. Emir Ahmatovic, one loss in his record. They're just keeping their Adeleye busy, I guess, and keeping them ticking over, moving through the ranks. It's a shame that Wardley back and forth never really came to fruition, but I'm sure they'll get it on. I'm sure they'll get it on eventually down the line at some point, right, Flowz? I kind of want to see that now, based on the way both of them were talking.
It's given the Wardley Fraser Clark fight didn't happen. It's kind of scuppered the chances of this happening because obviously David Adeleye had to move on. And he's moved on to this fight. So hopefully that can be revisited after Boxer. Then I'm back there, boy.
So peak.
Torrid scenario. So David Adeleye got a good knockout in his last fight, actually.
He did,
clean knockout. So let's keep seeing that progression from him.
Yeah, and that one is for the WBO European Heavyweight Championship as well. So the European title's on the line for that one too. So nice little strap for him to take home as well if he comes through that, which I guess we're expecting him to. But hey, man, David, he's still a rookie, he's still raw. He's still vulnerable. Obviously, that Sokolowski performance was still fresh in my head. I can't lie. But he's still, like I said, he's still raw in it, so he's still got room to grow. But let's see that progression, David.
I'm creasing at the way he was chatting in the interviews, back and forth with
Woodley. About Woodley, I told you, it's so funny. Oh my, he was killing me.
I was saying his name in the streets. Boxers are too funny.
When boxers start drawing for the street card, honestly, it kills me so much. I swear. Bro, you're a professional boxer now. Why are you mentioning the streets?
Stick to boxes.
That's what. All right, our boy Dean White, one of the best quotes ever. When he said, "Stick to what you know. Stick to boxing.
Stick to boxing. Leave the street talk to the street guys."
Oh, funny. But yeah, that's it really, Flo. It's a nice, short and quick one. If there's anything you want to bring up quickly.
What's your name? I saw Jaime Munguia is actually in action.
Oh,
against Derevchenko, I believe.
Yes, he is against Derevchenko. I did see that as well, Flowz. Jaime Munguia should have fought for a world title like 5 fights ago, but yeah, he's still whatever. Because I saw that because Oscar was there calling out WBC and Charlo. For Oscar called him out and said, "Oh yeah, you lot have held that belt hostage for 2 years, etc., etc., etc." Once Jaime Munguia deals with Derevchenko, we're coming for that belt, etc. And I just thought to myself, but you, Oscar, what you lot were mandatory when Boo Boo had the belt. Boo Boo had the WBO in the middleweight division when Boo Boo was in middleweight, and Jaime Munguia was number 1 contender, mandatory for time, and they called his name up next, and he turned it down. I think twice.
Yeah,
twice.
More than once.
So he's had opportunities to fight for a world title, and you lot turned it down. So I don't know why now you're looking to go at but we know why Oscar is. Obviously, Oscar and Golden Boy and PBC, famously don't get along. And Oscar likes going at Al Heyman and his guys and back and forth, and Ellaby likes to go back and forth with thingy. So yeah, he's obviously, I think he's just doing that. But yeah, Jaime Munguia had the opportunities to fight for world title. So yeah, I'm not going to be... if he comes through Derevchenko, who is good, by the way, Derevchenko is a good fighter. If he comes, I'm not going to be too enamored by it, Flowz, or overawed. Get this guy a world title shot. He's been middleweight for like 6 fights now, like bare fights. He should have had a world title shot ages ago. So until Jaime fights for the world title, Flowz, I ain't trying to hear him too tough. I can't lie.
Yeah, he's dunked Boo Boo. He dunked that Johnny Beck.
Yes, he turned that one. Yep.
So, and look, Oscar is notorious for
I just want to say,
fights.
It might, let's just caveat that as well, listeners. It might not be Munguia. It's most likely Oscar.
Yeah, 100% Oscar.
So just because,
this is 100% Oscar De La Hoya. We've seen it time and time again.
Yep.
And even recently,
Tanks a beast.
Look, Canelo's called a duck for not fighting Golovkin. He was wanting that desperately, but Oscar De La Hoya was delaying it. We've seen recently, what's his name? Ryan Garcia going back and forth with Oscar De La Hoya about who the next opponent is going to be.
Yep.
Oscar wants Pacquiao.
Oscar was mentioning Pacquiao's name. Like, what?
And Ryan Garcia was like, I don't want this.
What planet are you on, bro?
Ryan Garcia, that's crazy for you. Open on Twitter, go back and forth about who the next opponent is.
Crazy. Crazy.
Even once again, Oscar De La Hoya has come forward in interviews saying he wouldn't have taken certain fights if fighters were under him.
Yeah,
he's a renowned ducker.
Yeah,
without so
fully said, if I had still had Canelo, I'm never letting him fight Beat. I'm making him fight this guy, that guy.
Yeah.
When it's the fans, Canelo's doing fan service. The fans are telling him to fight. The fans are telling Canelo to fight certain light heavyweights, and he's going to deliver it. So, which in itself is crazy, by the way, from Canelo. But hey, that's on him. But yeah, that's definitely on Oscar, and Oscar is well renowned, as you say, Flowz, and it's. I guess Munguia is going with the flow for now, but eventually you're gonna have to take charge of your career, young man, if you want these titles or whatever. If you're about that, then cool. To me, Munguia should be fighting for world titles. He's good enough. He's been around in the division for long enough. Let's make these fights happen. But yeah, he did that Derevchenko fight is a good fight because Derevchenko is good. Yeah, he's been around for a while, seasoned middleweight, etc. Hey, he was giving he gave Triple G a lot of problems still. A lot of problems. Yeah, he's a good fighter, Derevchenko. I don't know if those you want to quickly just touch upon the. There's been a lot of talking. Hey, this 135 division, Flowz, is the gift that keeps on giving, because even the non-contenders, the up-and-comers they're really chirping, boy. They're chirping. Keyshawn Davis, this Floyd Schofield brother. Kid Austin, yeah, they've been going at it. Keyshawn goes at it with everyone. Like he is a real character, to be fair, Flowz. And I think we said today, we couldn't tell before if Keyshawn was corny or what, but I think it's fair to say we're both fans of him now. Just his personality, just the way he moves. Very colourful character.
Yeah, like he's always vocal. He's always active on the mic. He doesn't shy away from saying what's on his mind. And when you have fighters like that, you're always interested to hear what they have to say.
Yeah,
him and Floyd Schofield, who I've seen, I think once or twice, and he looks good as well. He's an up and coming 135 pounder. Keyshawn Davis up and coming in the division, maybe just a bit ahead of Schofield. I like what Kid Austin's doing because he's been active since he turned pro. Yeah. But they've been going back and forth, and it's been spicy talk.
Hella spicy.
And Kid Austin's dad is another boxing dad.
But hey, one of these days we're gonna round up we're gonna go through all the boxing dads, because boxing dads, that when we say listeners, boxing dads are a very specific type of people. And when we have this episode for us, we'll have one episode dedicated to boxing dads. You listeners, you understand why. They think a certain way, they move a certain way. It feels you're laughing, but it's facts. It's actually straight facts. All the boxing dads, they're all the same. They're all the same. It's hilarious. They're living their dreams through their son. And the way they talk is so funny. And Kid Austin's dad is another one. Pinpoint perfect example.
We've got the new generation. I remember we've had some of a lot of these the ones we're referring to, they've retired now.
Okay, yeah.
But then, but now you've got
the Guerreros and that, yeah.
Guerreros, Sean Porter, Kenny Porter.
Kenny, yeah.
Who else do we have? What's his name? Angel Garcia.
Oh, yeah. But there's a new batch now. There's a new batch.
Bill Haney. Teofimo Senior.
Teofimo Senior. I was going to say Teofimo Senior is another one. Yeah.
These boxing dads are funny, but yeah, they've been. If you guys go watch what's it called? The
Fight is Right.
Called? The Fight is Right.
Spencer Fearon's podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, they were going at it. Keyshawn's box office, man, it was killing.
Yeah. And I just want to say as well, that 135 division, Flowz, obviously we've been discussing the Haneys and whatnot, but there's a real good crop of contenders coming up as well. Keyshawn's one of them. Kid Austin's another one. Frank Martin, who Keyshawn's had a lot of back and forth with as well. He's another one. There's another one that I came across called Abdullah Mason, I think he's 18 and he looks serious as well. Abdullah Mason, a lot of the contenders actually talking about him, saying he's serious, up and coming. I think Keyshawn's mentioned him, Devin Hayes mentioned him before. That 135 division is going to be special, Flowz. There's some real nice guys coming up into that division. Aside from obviously the Haneys and the big names, these guys are going to be looking to come up with champions. They're doing it right. They're winning, and they're calling out guys and trying to get their name out of there, etc. So we're gonna be in for some serious matchups. Because we can't forget, like, obviously this Floyd Schofield guy's popped up now, Keyshawn, but don't forget Keyshawn was going out with Frank Martin hard before.
Yeah.
I mean, his last fight, he said, look, to the other southpaw on the street, across the street,
I want to fight
you.
Yeah, look, that division's
It's
bubbling,
stacked, man.
bubbling.
Yeah, man. Real nice. Real nice division.
And we've got an old head returning as well. AB.
Oh,
The list.
yeah. Before we forget, yes, next week apparently AB is fighting Adrian the Problem Broner. He's fighting.
Twin. That's twin.
That's twin. Yeah. For the hood, he's fighting. I don't even know who the guy is. I can't lie, Floyd. He's fighting some guy.
Bill Hutchinson, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. Bill Hutchinson. This is a Don King promotion, no?
Mm-hmm.
Bloody hell! This is already has mess all over it, man.
Yeah.
But yeah. As much as I kill him, he is one of the funniest guys to ever be in boxing. I can't lie, AB. He's given us many funny moments. He's very annoying at the same time, but he's had some of his classic moments are classics, absolute classic moments. Real full. Yeah, I'm not expecting much from AB Flowz. Hopefully he punches this time. But yeah, he's probably gonna watch this guy. This guy's a nobody, so he probably should watch him.
You never know. You never know with AB. You really never know. But I like him. He's a great personality for boxing. I've always been a fan of it. I've always supported AB. I've always vouched for AB. He's let me down, but
too many times. I can't forgive it.
I always vouch for him. I always support him.
Let's get Regis out of the way. Let's get him on up out of the way.
He said he's going to be undisputed at 140 before he retires. I think this fight's on 147. So
the fact that he still talks about he can make 140 kills me. But hey, we'll see.
We just sort out the way. They back and forth have been going on for years as well. So I don't know.
Well, Regis and AB.
Yeah,
Regis don't take him seriously though. I don't think Regis doesn't take him seriously. He's like whatever, man.
Yeah.
AB doesn't want to see Regis. That I know. That I'm sure of. You don't want to see Regis.
Lose that badly.
Boy, Regis. Badly. Oh my gosh. You actually do him so dirty. Do him so dirty. Yeah. Stay away from Regis, AB. Yeah. But yeah, folks, let's call it there. It's been episode 145 of the SZN Podcast. Once again, I've been your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, guys, make sure you check us out on the streaming platforms. Peace.
You take it a strap. I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.